Hello and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Albuquerque. Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Randy Bueller. We're in the quarterfinals, Randy. We have reached this long road, and we're already underway here. Sam Pardee, he has a Tidebinder mage from his mono blue deck. He's playing against Paul Rietzl with mono black.
Yeah, this is a pretty close matchup. I heard Sam talking about it coming into the top 8. I mean, both of these players have played this matchup plenty of times. These are clearly two of the fixtures in this standard metagame. Sam describes it as like, I have a bunch of really crappy creatures. I have like 1 mana 1/1s, 2 mana 2/2s, but he has to kill all of them.
Okay.
Like one card at a time.
Right.
And my creatures start at 1 mana, and his removal starts at 2 mana.
Okay.
So he's like, if I just every turn play one of these creatures, and he every turn kills one, you know, Sam's a little more mana efficient. His stuff's cheaper, so he should always have like one leftover guy.
Okay.
Or like maybe Thassa gets to attack every other turn or so. That's kind of how this matchup plays out.
All right,
You know,
speaking of Thassa.
Speaking of Thassa.
Yeah, we see.
And Mutavault, so he's kind of got 3 threats. Paul hasn't answered any of them yet.
That's right, so not too bad here, but a Devour Flesh, yeah, is going to take down Tidebinder mages.
Kind of 2 mana for 2 mana, so an even trade on mana, but Sam got in 1 hit.
It interestingly does set back Thassa quite a bit here.
Definitely.
No other blue mana symbols on the board, and here it is though.
There's Nightveil Spectre.
Nightveil Spectre, 3 blue mana or 3 black mana symbols for Paul Rietzl, but more importantly, can start grinding here.
Block the Mutavault, attack over.
Yep.
I mean, Thassa may not be live, but her scry ability is pretty good in this matchup.
Yes.
You know, once Sam gets the lands that he wants, you know, 5, 6, maybe he'll go to 7 if he draws one of his Cyclonic Rifts. Lands get bad pretty quickly.
All right, so Nightveil Spectre meets another Nightveil Spectre, but this one's very important for Sam Pardee as that represents 4 blue mana symbols now on the battlefield, so he's any permanent basically in his deck that's not a land away from having Thassa, God of the Sea
We'll see.
active.
The big difference between those 2 Nightveil Spectres is that one of their owners plays removal spells.
Yes, you are correct.
The other one doesn't.
That is correct. Now,
So,
Nightveil
yeah.
Spectre's pretty adept at dodging a lot of forms of removal.
It's true.
Here's the second one for Paul Rietzl, but Paul does run Hero's Downfall in the deck, which takes
4
care of it
Heroes
quite
Downfall.
nicely. Yep.
Yeah, he can also, I mean, maybe time a Devour Flesh. Gets to time it right.
All right, here's 4 mana
Often
for
they
Sam
wind up
Pardee,
eating us.
and Biden of Thassa is going to make Thassa herself active, and he's just going to send it in there. No good response here for Paul Rietzl. He either takes 5 and gives up a card,
Or chumps with Nightveil Spectre.
or chumps with one of his better creatures.
Probably takes 5. Yeah, Paul's game plan is to kill all of Sam's creatures. We talked about how, you know, Sam doesn't expect to be able to attack with Thassa all the time, but Biden is, those devotion encounters are going to stick around.
And he even has
Judge's Familiar.
Judge's Familiar as a follow-up
You know,
play
1 mana,
here.
he's able to go 2 different threats, right? Biden plus Judge's Familiar.
Right.
Now, what does Paul have? I see Desecration Demons in his hands.
Yeah,
That is not great on this board.
No, he's got 2 of them. He has 2 Pack Rats and something.
Does something kill Nightveil Spectre? Because that's what he needs
know
to
what
do.
that last
Even
card-
killing the Nightveil Spectre, though, is still 4 devotion, right?
It is still at 4, so again, any permanent. Sam Pardee also has 2 Mutavaults there, which can act to keep a Desecration Demon locked down if they want. They can also just attack.
Paul goes for the demon.
Yeah, so no attacking from those. They're just going to act as fodder, it looks like.
Sam deciding what to do with the card on top of his library. We're in his upkeep.
Paul
Using
Rietzl,
Thassa's scry ability.
Paul Rietzl's at 13. At what point
I mean,
does
even
Sam
just
Pardee
unblockable.
just start making stuff unblockable and just
Soon.
getting him? Yeah. I mean, he
Soon.
could put
Maybe
him on a
now.
2-turn clock here. He could make his Nightveil Spectre and his Thassa unblockable, hit him for 7.
Yeah, this game is, this is how Sam wants the game to go.
Yeah.
He's just dumping his hand. Biden's letting him refill and keep going. I mean, Paul, the way the matchup plays out, the late game favors Paul. Sam's the beatdown. Paul's the control.
Right.
Paul, though, I mean, he doesn't have any card advantage flowing right now.
No.
He hasn't had enough removal to keep Thassa dormant. Yeah,
Unblockable. Hit you for 7.
Now, Demon Trigger has to go on the stack. Sam's obviously not going to sack anything.
Wow, so these are just huge. He gets a draw 2 straight up. And then he's also going to get a Nightveil Spectre as well.
Underworld Connection's not going to do much, but another Judge's Familiar. Maybe a Raptor.
It's a raptor,
Yeah.
so that's food.
More devotion insurance.
Potentially,
too.
yeah, devotion insurance as well, which is really critical here, right?
If
he
Paul
needs.
wants to attack with Demon, let him.
Yeah, of course.
What do you care? Take 6. I don't have to sack somebody to get that blocker out of the way.
Of course,
yeah.
This is looking heavily favored for Sam as he's been
if
able
Paul
to
kill Spectre at this point. Thas is still active. Paul has to kill 2 creatures. That's not happening. He has to play a Grey Merchant, I guess, but he doesn't have. He doesn't even have a 5th land.
No, he doesn't.
We're gonna see some sort of like desperation Nightfield Spectre attack here. He's hoping for like Cyclonic Rift and/or land.
Yeah, you're right. He's going to attack with both of them.
This is the desperation. None of the cards in my hand help.
Before
How
blockers,
about the cards on top of your library?
He's got an ultimate price here.
Is he pointing that at the Cloudfin Raptor to clear a path?
Probably. Oh, there's a response, though.
Rapid hybridization.
Okay.
Turns it into a 3/3.
Oh, yeah. Your rapid hybridization resolves.
All right, he's going to aim it at Thassa, so he's going to make sure to get a lizard token here.
Sure.
I like it.
We think this is mid-combat, clearing a path for the Spectres, basically.
That's right.
But yeah, I think these are desperation top decks. Frostborn Weird and Master of Waves.
Those aren't lands.
Or bounce spells.
Or bounce spells or anything.
Go.
Right.
I got you.
Cyclonic Rift potentially could help. But Sam Pardee actually has lethal on the table here.
Yeah, no, Paul's just going through the motions here.
Yep.
Seeing if he can learn anything else about how his opponent plays
Well,
that can help him in game 2.
Yeah, he just learned one thing, and there's another Judge's Familiar. Again, this is just insurance plan. It's also free.
Right. He does see, yeah, a couple more cards. I don't think they have deck lists.
True.
You know, that's a good question. They usually do
they
get
do
them.
have deck lists?
They do
Okay.
usually get them.
All right, well, there's
Yep.
the game.
And that's it. Sam Pardee takes game 1 over
Pretty
Paul
quick
Rietzl.
1-0.
It was, and you know, you've been mentioning this all weekend, Randy, that this is very much a pretty classic beatdown versus control type matchup.
Right.
And
I mean, Sam
Pardee's a beatdown.
He's not blisteringly fast.
Not
right?
at
We're not
all.
talking, Naya Blitz or
No.
this Burning Tree Emissaries chaining. But I mean, he's going to keep playing creatures and he's going to keep attacking with them, and he's hoping he can get his opponent from 20 down to 0. I mean,
That's right.
that's a beatdown strategy.
That is a beat.
Right?
He's
it's
in
almost
that
like,
role.
I guess I think I heard him compare it to the Aristocrats deck from the last standard.
Uh-huh.
Like your creatures they're not awesome, sort of power to cost ratio wise, but they're surprisingly resilient, and you just keep attacking with them, and hopefully your opponent falls over.
All right, so this is where we've reached the point of the top 8 where the opponents stare at their opponent's deck list for a while.
And then they have to figure out how to sideboard.
And then figure out how to sideboard. So let's take a look at the boards here. What is Paul Rietzl going to bring in?
Freakish Cure probably comes in this matchup.
You can 1-for-1 most of Sam's small creatures and even Master of Waves with it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe does he want Dark Betrayal to hit the Nightveil Spectre?
That
Nightveil
is a
Spectre,
good question.
It only hits Nightveil Spectre, but Nightveil Spectre is incredibly important. Doomblade comes in, I would think.
Yeah, and it's important on multiple fronts, right? I mean, it's the best way that Sam Pardee has to get Thassa God of the Sea active, and it also just generates advantage on its own.
Yeah, it's I don't know what Paul's take is on Thoughtseize in this matchup. I know that a lot of the guys playing this mono black deck, one of the reasons they're playing it, they think Thoughtseize just might be the best card in Standard right now. Thoughtseize, whatever your opponent's up to, I can just neuter it. But the way this blue deck works, I know Sam Black was really articulate on this point in an article a couple of weeks ago. He doesn't care if his opponent Thoughtseizes him. Like, he's playing a beatdown strategy. He's just trying to get threats onto the table as efficiently as he can and attack you. So if you're spending a mana and 2 life and a card and you're not affecting the board, okay.
Sure.
Go ahead, knock yourself out.
Yep.
Thoughtseize me. I don't care.
Which, again, is something that you would hear from somebody playing the aggressive role.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know how Paul thinks about Thoughtseize in this matchup, but I mean those are the kind of things he's got to be thinking. Like, I would think more removal comes into the deck. Like, he's playing his opponent has a bunch of creatures. He needs to keep Thassa dormant. He needs to make sure that he can kill Nightveil Spectre, make sure that he can kill Master of Waves. So more removals coming in. I don't like Thoughtseize in this matchup. Like, Sam's point makes total sense to me here. Like, if the mono blue guy is happy to be Thoughtseize, then he's got to be the best mono blue devotion player at this point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the 4 straight top 8s.
Absolutely.
I'm taking out my Thoughtseizes. I don't care what I think about them. If Sam doesn't care, put him in the sideboard. Give me some more removal spells.
All right, let's take a look at Sam's side of the table. He's got 4 Gainsay. Could hit Nightveil Spectre, still not worth it, right?
Nah.
Okay, nothing like that. So he's got
he
Cyclonic
needs
Rifts.
he needs to remember his role. This is another one of these cases where the blue deck has to be careful not to just dilute its strategy. Like, I think he can't get out of the beatdown roll. I mean, against a blue deck, you can make this deck controlish against an Esper or something. You can have a bunch of gainsays. You can try to play that game.
Yeah.
But not against the black deck.
Right.
Like, you can't really answer their long-term threats. You can't answer Underworld connections. You know, the one negate. Like, maybe Bident is an interesting one here because if he manages to stick some of those dorky creatures, like if any of them survive removal, then those Bident hits are just precious gold. Every extra card that he draws
one of them
is spectacular for him.
That is interesting from Paul's side, too. If he keeps his Thoughtseizes in, that's one of the few ways he can actually get a Bident. But if he boards in all removal and doesn't care about the Thoughtseizes, he can just say,
you can blank the Bident if you kill all the creatures.
That's right. So interesting dynamic there. Now, a quick update from BDM. Todd Anderson.
Yeah?
Up a game.
Up a game.
Over Andrew
Trying
Hansen.
to get to Valencia, trying to knock that Naya deck out before we can get it on camera.
That's right. And Owen Turtenwald.
It's in the cursed B seat. Like, we never get to see the B table.
It is this weekend.
It's too bad. We should have put Naya on the other table. It would be really inconvenient to get it on camera.
Because then we would guarantee it. Yes.
Exactly.
Owen Turtenwald. Up 1-0 over Joseph Nix as well in the mirror. So.
Any word on the Sam Black match yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
That one's the mono blue mirror against Valentin Mackel.
So the other card in Sam's sideboard that seems relevant to me is Domestication.
Yeah.
I think you want to steal Nightveil Specters.
Yes.
Like, stealing a Nightveil Spectre sounds awesome.
I mean, that gives you 5 devotion.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That is not bad.
And also
it takes
a Nightveil
away,
Spectre,
right?
yeah.
It's 2-for-1. It's inherently a 2-for-1 all by itself. So.
That's right.
Yeah, I think the Domestication comes in. He's got 1 in the main. Like Sam's list looks very similar to the one Sam Black has had so much success with. He's off by Sam has a Domestication instead of a second Jace in the main, and then I think the only other difference is Sam has 2 Cyclonic Rifts.
This Sam?
Right, sorry. Pardee has 2 Rapid Hybridization, 1 Cyclonic Rift, and Black is the other way around.
Okay.
So, I mean, they're super close.
Very similar. Looks like Paul Rietzl's on a mulligan here. He's on the play on a mulligan. Now, we know that his deck contains many ways to recover from mulligans, but the question is he alive?
Right, he has to survive. He has to go trade 1-for-1, 1-for-1, 1-for-1 to get to one of those. Oh, Mackel is up 1-0.
Wow, that's in the mirror match against, I mean, you just said it, gotta be considered the best mono blue devotion player going right now. Sam Black and
Fastest
Mackel.
chosen.
Yeah.
You don't have a card yet.
That's not. I like that, though.
Fastest chosen. Come out in the next set with a picture of Sam Black on it.
I'd have him sign one for me. Okay, let's see if Paul Rietzl can keep a 6 here. He's down a game. Certainly don't want to go to 5. And here's one of the Paul Rietzl one-landers, but it doesn't have Thoughtseizes.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to ship that one back.
Wow, that's too bad.
That is too bad. So Paul Rietzl going down to 5 on the play, down a game in the quarterfinals.
And Sam is just trying to keep calm, thinking about that trip to Valencia.
Yeah.
He wants it. He's so close right now.
Yeah, and Sam Pardee's he's a Grand Prix champion, this guy. I mean, this is not new territory for him at all. So he's going to be all business here. I think that sometimes when you see people top 8 their first GP, they get sort of this almost like relieved, giddy kind of like, hey, I top 8'd. I'm going to go home.
Sometimes.
I'm going to go tell all my friends that I top 8'd.
And they're done, right?
And
they're just happy to be there.
Checked out. Sam's not that guy. He's absolutely in battle mode.
And you have to just think about the game, think about the matchup, think about your hand, how you're hoping the game's going to play out. You just have to not think about that stuff.
Yeah, and sometimes that takes practice,
I mean, sometimes some people are different. For me, honestly, it was easier the first time.
Is that right?
Yeah, the first time I was able to just think about nothing but the games. But then, the expectations my first major top 8 was a Pro Tour. I won the Pro Tour.
Right.
So there's so many more expectations to get that second top 8 that I had more trouble blocking it out.
Interesting. Okay.
The second trips.
Yeah, we're underway here. Paul Rietzl thought-seizing his opponent, so taking another virtual mulligan here. He's going to see Mutavault Island, Judge's Familiar. That is a rapid hybridization, a Frostburn Weird, a Cloudfin Raptor, and a Nightveil Spectre. So a pretty decent hand here for Pardee, though he's quite a bit off from being able to cast the Spectre. He's another blue source from being able to cast his Frostburn Weird, but he's only running, however many Mutavaults between 2 to 4. I'm assuming 4, and then the rest are islands. So
Yeah, he's on 1 Nykthos for Mutavault,
Okay.
which is the same way Sam Black builds it.
Okay. So this is a huge one for Paul. He needs to make sure that he keeps the pressure off of himself. I
Yeah,
mean,
he also may be thinking that like the only way he wins this game is if he gets lucky.
Yes.
So he may be thinking, all right, I have to assume Pardee's not going to draw the lands to ever cast, say, Nightveil Spectre.
right. So that would lead
You
him
have to
to one
start
of the
thinking,
one
like-
drops here.
I mean, I haven't gotten a good look at Paul's hand. I see a Nightveil Spectre.
I do
Can't
see
tell
that
what the
as
others
well.
are.
I
I don't even
can't
know if he has
either.
more land, but
He took
like-
rapid hybridization.
interesting. Yeah, almost it's a 1-mana spell that could, turn off Paul's Nightveil Spectre.
Yes,
but
that's
yeah,
right.
Paul sort of gets to assume that his opponent is going to draw badly and that Paul's going to draw well. 'Cause
Yes.
those are the only games he cares about.
That's
like,
right.
how do I maximize my chances of winning? And the games where Sam draws reasonably, Paul's not winning.
All right, so this thing goes, and it looks like there's a Devour Flesh.
Yeah.
No, it's
Oh,
a Pharika's
Pharika's Cure.
Cure. Okay. And it does actually resolve here as well. He's going to keep Judge's Familiar on the battlefield. And that is a Temple of Deceit, so
He's
that's
drawn the
not
lands he
too
needs.
bad. Yeah, and he can dig for more lands doing this.
Right, now
Doesn't
if,
find one.
Does Sam draw the islands he needs?
No.
Wow.
He
Mutavault.
drew a second Mutavault, and he's just
All
forced
right.
to attack for 3. Not bad, to follow up with a
Another
Raptor,
Raptor.
but still, that was a Desecration Demon as well, but he gets to play Nightveil Spectre to stabilize this board completely.
Right.
And you can see
Still
why
no island.
he took the rapid hybridization here,
Yeah.
because he's
Exactly.
taking nothing this
Yeah,
turn.
no, it was super smart play on Paul's part.
Wow.
I mean, he apparently does believe Thoughtseize belongs in his deck.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Yes.
certainly, I mean, it gives a good player the opportunity to make really smart decisions. I mean, it is clearly a very good card.
And it is his only wow, that was a pack rat as well.
Interesting.
Now, does he attack here though?
I
Because
don't know.
there is a triple block option here for Sam Pardee,
Wow.
where he would lose both of his his
Yeah, if
Judge's
he triple
Familiars.
blocks and then Cloudfin Raptor he can't triple block there.
No triple block.
I don't
Okay.
even think Paul has the removal spell, but it's.
Oh.
That was the island that Sam wants.
It
and
was,
Paul
and
wanted
it's
it.
going to allow Paul Rietzl to play a Desecration Demon.
Oh, another island. Okay.
All right, there's an island. So
That's good.
long awaited, and it has finally arrived, though. Is it too late is the real question, because a Frostbrand word here on turn 5 or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
not that great. I mean, he's drawn all of his sort of limited cards here, right? Like, he doesn't have the big mythic punch that the deck often
He's got a
does
Biden in
have.
his hand.
He has it in his hand?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll take 6.
Demon attacks. Sam lets it attack.
Yeah, so sure, take 6. And a second
Demon
demon.
number 2. Cool game.
Believe another Biden there, and are we going to see a Biden?
Yeah.
We are. Quick update from the side tables. Todd Anderson is 1-1 with Andrew Hansen.
I wonder if we can hold them for game 3. Love to see game 3, Todd Anderson versus Andrew Hansen.
All right, Sam Pardee, no attacks after playing the Biden. Ships the turn back. Go to attacks. Sure. So at this point, Paul Rietzl is ignoring any semblance of card advantage or anything. He's just, how much damage can I get through? I mean, this is a lethal attack.
Right.
So he's going to force Sam Pardee to do something here.
Right. And Sam's better off chump blocking rather than sacking and giving the demon a counter.
Right, and he
So it
does
goes
that.
to 6. Gray Merchant for the
Gray
win!
Merchant, and that's it. Paul Rietzl
Paul
has
Rietzl,
evened things
wow.
up. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Moles to 5.
Wow.
Look how calm he is. He's just like, yeah, this is how we do it. Wow. Mulligans to 5 has a rough Thoughtseize where he's really got to make his plan. Says, my plan is to play this Nightveil Spectre by drawing some lands and letting that shore up the board, which is exactly what happened. He protects it by taking Rapid Hybridization, and he rides that and a pair of demons to the end, finishing off. Wow, that is insane.
was
Paul
awesome.
Rietzl, Gold Pro from the United States. He's currently ranked 20th on our top 25 pro rankings, but if you're a Paul Rietzl fan, check the rankings in a few days and you'll see that he has gone up a bit from there.
To Wednesday night when that gets updated?
I'm not
It's
sure.
Wednesday night. Wow. Boy, taking that rapid hybridization, that was a tricky decision, and he made it spot on. I was listening, he was telling a story earlier about thought-seizing an opponent who had thought-seizing against an Esper control deck, and his Esper control opponent, he thought-seized Azorius Charm over Divination, which is kind of an unusual choice, but he wanted his opponent to play Divination on turn 3, so Paul would have a window to play Erebos.
Yes.
I mean, those are the kind of decisions you get with a Thoughtseize, right? If you understand the matchup well enough, you can sort of figure out, all right, I want you to do this on turn 3 so that I can do this other thing on turn 4. It's just it's fun watching players who just see all those lines.
That is insane. So I'm getting a few updates from BDM. He's out there scouting for us. And Owen Turtenwald, Joseph Nix, they're going to 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Owen is trying to keep his streak alive here and trying to string 2 Grand Prix victories together. After having gone 13 top 8s without one, he'd like to just pick up 2 in a row. And he's going to take a 3rd game before he has before that's going to happen for him, though.
Okay. Nix is probably playing for Valencia, right? I don't know him very well.
I don't either. I haven't seen him, out of the top tables here at the GP, so I'm assuming he is.
He's probably playing for a Valencia spot. Some big matches.
Huge matches. It is funny. We bring you back.
From Paul.
We get Randy Buehler
I love
in here.
The flash too.
The what?
I mean, Paul just looking at him smile, and like the end of the game, as soon as Sam makes the obvious block of block 1, Paul just like reveals the hand that has a swamp and a Grey Merchant in it.
Yeah. So this is lethal, sir.
Sorry, you were saying?
Oh, I was just saying it's incredible we bring you back, Randy, into the booth. Been a great weekend with you in here, and of course you just get flooded with amazing storylines. It must be nice to be Randy Buehler.
I think magic is just awesome.
How humble.
This is good times.
Yeah, this is fun.
Now, so game 3, Sam does get to play first.
Yes,
that is relevant.
It's very big.
I mean, like we said earlier, he's expecting Paul to kill a bunch of his creatures. He just wants to stay, like, 1 creature ahead for as long as he can, chip in damage here and there, Thassa every once in a while, occasional Mutavault. So that works out better if you're on the play.
Right.
Prefer to start on 7 if possible. You do whatever you got to do to my deck.
It's hard to pick against
Paul
Paul,
Rietzl just said, I prefer to start at 7 if possible, but you do what you got to do to my deck. That's what he said.
It's funny.
Yeah, Paul's had some mulligans here, no doubt about it, but he's also one of the most disciplined mulliganers around. I've watched him mulligan hands that I don't think very many people would.
That was not an easy game to win, too.
No, that was a really tough game.
He keeps 5. He Thoughtseizes the rapid hybridization because like the only way he can win is to top deck land into Nightveil Spectre. He also, remember the Nightveil Spectre attack, right?
Yes.
If Sam just triple blocks, Paul's got nothing.
That's right.
I like Paul didn't have a removal spell.
He did not.
If Sam triple blocks, Paul just shrugs his shoulders and puts Nightveil Spectre in the graveyard.
It was just so risky from Sam's side of the
I
board.
would not have triple blocked out of Sam either, but like to see the attack, right, from Paul's seat, you know your opponent can just destroy you by merely blocking.
Right.
But you know that your opponent knows that you wouldn't do it if you were going to get destroyed, and you have a deck full of removal. But
that's
attack.
A beautiful thing, right?
And
it's taking on
way,
extra risk when you need to.
Yeah, and don't forget, that's how he found land number 4.
Yeah.
That's how Demon had played that turn.
That's right. Wow.
I mean, Sam would have been, in retrospect, would have been better off just chump blocking.
Chump blocking 1, yeah.
Instead of giving him a draw at a land. But, I mean, he doesn't know there's land on top of his library, obviously.
Of course. Do we have keeps?
It looks like Paul's thinking.
Okay.
I mean, Sam with his hand face down.
I think Paul has a 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe a 5 swamp hand here. Yeah, I think he, it's actually, you and I were talking earlier, Randy, about a hand. You were comparing a hand to a 1-lander that Paul kept against Sperling. This was a lot like the counter example that you used, which was land.
5 land, a Nightveil Spectre, and a Grey Merchant.
Yeah, it was like that. Yeah,
it doesn't do anything for a while, and then even if it's only 2 spells, you can get flooded.
How did you end up finishing an open after you beat me?
Sorry, we need to be quieter. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, apparently Paul can hear us. So, can we tell him to stop listening, or is that not how that works?
I don't want to whisper. I'm excited.
I don't know if I got finished.
Too much fun.
I just remembered seeing you like playing.
We can get excited once it's done.
All right.
Yeah, we can yell.
Once it's done, though, we get to start playing.
Oh, that was the worst thing.
No, I mean once the match ends.
All right.
Yeah, we still have 2 more, and then we're gonna play match.
Fair enough.
I need you to teach me vintage still.
That's been fun.
Yeah.
I like the big crowds. It seems like it might become a thing.
I hope it does. I just love watching it.
Yeah. There's a lot more decisions there than people think there are. It's definitely an interesting format. All right, Paul taking his third mulligan of the match.
I believe.
The game he lost, he didn't take any mulligans.
No, it didn't bother him last time either.
Right.
When he
The game he
took
won
2.
was the double mulligan.
Right.
How about D6?
All right.
Acceptable.
He says acceptable, and we're off to the races here. So Cloudfin Raptor for Sam Pardee. Farika's Cure off the top for Paul Rietzl, but he gets to see what's coming anyway.
3-land, Judge's Familiar. Is that Thassa and is it a Nightveil Spectre? What's the middle card?
That is a Nightveil Spectre in the middle, yes.
It's not Judge's Familiar. It's either Thassa or Nightveil Spectre. And I think it depends whether you have a removal spell that can kill Nightveil Spectre.
Mm-hmm.
But if he can kill Nightveil Spectre, he takes the Thassa. Otherwise, if he can't kill Spectre, then I think he has to take it and hope he can.
I mean, how big of a problem is Thassa long game for Paul Rietzl?
He's hoping. I mean, he's much happier in the world where he has the removal spell for the Spectre, so that Thassa can go away now.
Okay.
I mean, he can maybe keep Thassa dormant, but that Scry ability will beat him eventually.
It adds up.
It definitely adds up. It's not as good as an Underworld Connections from Paul's side, so like he can kind of outrace it. Like drawing cards is better than scrying them, but he doesn't. He would prefer to be able to take Thassa here. What does Paul's hand have though? I see Grey Merchant, Nykthos. Are those pack rats on the top of his hand?
They are, and he's also got a swamp.
Yeah, so he does not have a removal spell for Spectre, which
Right.
makes this a tricky decision. He's
Paul-
also is that hand? Is that a pack rat hand? Is that how this game's gonna play out? Turn 2 pack rat,
And just go.
and then just third land go.
Yeah, that could absolutely be it.
That may be how this hand plays out. There's no Master of Waves on the other side. God, if he's on the pack rat plan, which does that make better?
You stole my mountain.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I mean, I was
Another
thinking
pack rat against Thassa or Nightveil Spectre? All right, well,
So he took the Nightveil
took
Spectre.
the Spectre.
Okay. So Sam Pardee.
Judge's Familiar evolves Raptor.
Yeah, attack for 1. Play land. Another 1-drop. Says go. All right. So there's another Thoughtseize, though. A very timely one. I think that.
I mean, he doesn't get the pack rat here, but yeah, you totally take Thassa. Now,
and he's
Sam
left
is
Sam
just
Pardee
out
with
of gas.
2 islands.
2 1-drops and 4 islands. Paul can live with this.
That is another 1-drop, another Judge's Familiar for Sam Pardee. So he's going to be able to keep committing. Maybe it wasn't.
Holding it back?
It might have been a rapid hybridization in that case because
Sure.
you play it, right? I mean.
Interesting. So Paul can play a pack rat here.
Yes, he can also make sure to resolve a Farika's Cure if he wants, which looks like what his plan is.
Yeah.
This is your upkeep.
Yeah, it goes to upkeep. So that if Sam's going to do anything as a response, he'll be down that mana for the rest of the turn.
And he does. He uses the rapid
Yeah,
hybridization.
upgrades it into a 3/3.
Yeah, biggest creature in his deck. And attack you for 1. And he just plays a land for the turn and passes it back.
Congratulations, Todd Anderson. You are going to Pro Tour Valencia. Mono black through to the semis there. Naya down for the count. So it's a very black and blue tournament.
Hope you like black and blue, because for the rest of the tournament, we're going to be watching some combination of those two. All right, so Paul Rietzl tanked here. He's got a Nykthos, and there it is, Pack
Yeah.
Rat.
He's got pack rat. I think he's got Devour Flesh up too.
Ooh, Biden of Thassa, attack with both, but Paul says, ease up there, buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
Because this is a big one. Pack Rat's not big enough to block, and of course the other creature has Flyer before blockers.
Right,
Devour Flesh you.
So Sam has the choice basically of sacking to counter it
And
or
gaining
choosing
no
the
life.
familiar and gaining
Yeah.
life. Pretty sure the Judge's Familiar is going down here. I mean, there's a chance he wants the Flyer because of the Bident.
It could
If
be
he sacks the 3/3,
'Cause
I mean,
that-
the Pack Rat is going to start blocking the 3/3s very soon.
pretty soon.
It's kind of an interesting decision.
Yeah, it is.
There's definitely value in having a Flyer.
Sacrifice this one, so I gain 1.
But there's also value in dealing damage. Paul's
Yeah.
at 12, now
Could-
9.
Yeah, Paul's going to drop to 9 here
There's two
and
thought
get another
seizes.
card.
That life is relevant.
You can go.
Another island.
Okay.
All right, Paul untaps. Needs a Mutavault is what he needs. Ah, we have another mono black player through to the semifinals. Congratulations, Owen Turtenwald. You're still live to win back-to-back GPs.
This is turning out quite interestingly here. All right, so Pack Rat is active, ready to
Playing
go,
defense.
and he says go. You got to figure he's got to take one more hit here. You can't start chumping with pack rat because then you never get ahead, right?
Yeah, it seems like you take a hit to 6. I don't know what.
It's going to get a little awkward here, though, because remember, Biden of Thassa also has another ability.
True.
And Sam Pardee is sitting at 21 life, so he can start activating that Biden.
Well, but Paul can always make a pack rat token after the activation.
Yes.
Like he can make a new blocker after.
He can.
He can make a new blocker on Sam's turn once he gets the pack rats up and running. Yeah, it seems like you got to take 3 to 6. Giving him a card is sad, especially when that card is a Master of Waves.
Right. 1, 2, 3. And there's 3 tokens. Make
Paul's
a pack
discarding
rat.
one of his 2 cards.
It's a pack rat.
Sure. So now he's got a pair of 2/2s.
So that was an instant speed pack rat that costs 3.
I think he's got Gray Merchant. So I think he's got Swamp Gray Merchant. Neither of which kills a Master of Waves.
It does not. 1, 2, 3, 4 though is going to put Paul back up to 10.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he needs a blocker.
Yeah, and take a little chunk out of Sam Pardee's life total, dropping him down to 17 here. Or is it? He's going to actually rapid hybridization with the trigger on the stack. And that's going to mean
Paul
that
only gains 2?
Yeah, he only goes up to 8 here.
Now he's got a 3/3 instead of a 2/4.
Right.
And the pack rats are 2/2s. This attack's not going to go well for Paul, is it?
No, it is not at all. And there's Tidebinder
Tidebinder
Mage on your
Mage.
green creature.
Wow.
And he went very quickly to attacks and
Not attacking with the Master. This gets through for 4. Adding the Master would only make it 6. So
he's going to attack for 2, 4, 6, 8 and force Paul Rietzl
Yeah,
to chump
that's
block
awkward.
with 1
Paul,
pack rat.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, he can trade 1 pack rat for a wave token and
Right.
take 7. That's, or he can trade both of them for 2 waves. That seems worse somehow.
None of this seems good.
No, he can double block the 3/3,
Mm-hmm.
and then planning to top deck a removal spell for Master Waves, but that dies to Tidebinder Mage.
Wow, this is not a great. And remember, anything that gets through for Sam Pardee is going to draw him cards too to keep the pressure flowing.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
bad.
I was trying to figure out how Paul could win this before Sam was drawing 3, 4 cards, 2, 3 cards.
Okay. I'll
Huh.
one first, 1 second, assign 2 and 1.
He did that. He did what
Double
you
block
said.
the-
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see where he's going with it. Is exactly what you said, Randy.
Now he can top deck a removal spell for Master, but he's still on 2 against Tidebinder Mage.
Refill the grip, 3 more cards in hand. And remember, Sam Pardee's got 3 untapped mana here. He can just recommit to the board now.
Yeah,
and he
good
does 2 Cloudfern Raptors and just flippantly says, go for it. And that's it.
There's the
Sam
hand.
Pardee advances to the semifinals here past Paul Rietzl.
Congratulations, Sam Pardee. You are going to Valencia and Atlanta.
This is a big day for the qualifiers here.
Yeah, Pro Tour Valencia got a little tougher today. Couple
did.
new players.
So we have one
Booking their
more
tickets
match
to Spain.
outstanding. We have Sam Black versus Valentin Mako, but into the semis. It looks like they're done.
It looks like they're done.
It does. Looking at the
That's
looking at
probably
the
not
monitor,
good for Sam Black.
It does look like they're done because Valentin